chief right when I got there, and got that exposure, that whole DC area. Loved it. And at that time, I could have converted to CMC, but I felt like I had something to prove. I didn't want to dip out without having stood that watch as a chief recruiter. And I made the mistake or the good fortune of taking the hardest, most difficult location, which was St. Louis. They were failing miserably. And I thought I was going to die there physically and mentally. But it made me stronger, And I think if I went CMC at that time, back in 2013, 2014, I probably would have, forced Mass Chief at this point today, eligible for fleet, who knows, because I would have been on that track a lot earlier. But, everything works out for a reason. When I went to St. Louis, that it made me stronger because it was super challenging. And from there, I went over to LA as a CMC, looking for orders again. They only had like I think 1 or 2 squadrons available in Lemoore. And so when they choose, either you go to Lemoore, California, or you go to LA, the recruiting command is a CMC, because they open for like business. I was like, well, I'm gonna take that LA, 100 Alex. And I'll tell you, that was probably one of the best experiences. And once again, I say LA is one of the best tours of my life, because it was such a broad command. On that command level, we were in charge of people in Japan, Guam, Hawaii, and just that level of responsibility. And then getting a chance to travel over there to see them as well, man, once in a lifetime experience. And I loved it. And I worked for a wonderful commanding officer when I first got there, who was my guest speaker at my retirement, Captain Cobb, which was great. And I think I was talking to someone today about that, like working with great people can make all the difference in the military, outside the military. You want to come to work early, you put off that leave, but working for bad people on the other side of it, you can end up taking a bunch of sick days and showing up to work late, leaving early, making a whole bunch of excuses because of the circle that you're around, and that toxic environment can cause that. And I appreciate, people ask for the secret ingredient. It's not like you and I create these people. You're blessed or sometimes fortunate to have these people in your lives. And like, man, that's why sometimes people feel sad when you go, because man, they get the replacement, to get that same team again. Oh man, that's like seeing lightning strike in the same spot.
It's hard to reproduce that.
That was phenomenal. And then of course, from that CMC tour, which I did for 4 years, I was trying to do 5 and then retire at 30. It's like, nah, we got another spot for you. We need you over here. And I'm like, they had like, again, 2 DDGs in, I think, Virginia. And then they had there was 4 or 5 squadrons, VP squadrons in Jacksonville. I was like, I'm gonna take that Jacksonville for 100 again. And it was great. The only thing I would say about that, another life-changing kind of challenge for myself, was going back to a VP world where I started from a command level position. I realized how closed the community really is when it comes to interacting with other communities. Recruiting for 20 plus years and all these different recruiting commands, we deal with every rate, every walk of life, tall, short, purple, green. And you learn to get this walk of life people, these different people, to on one page, one team, one sound, one beat, to go get that job done. And in a squadron environment, especially that only really goes to like Woodby Island or Jacksonville, that they don't really get a lot of exposure to different perspectives of thinking or leading or just different walks of life. And that was a shocker for me. And then also showed me another place of how life could really be for you when you're in a place where your representation could really matter, or it doesn't matter, however you want to look at it. But it was great. And I sit back sometimes and people see me even a day on base. And it's weird. You finished over 32 years. That don't seem real. That can't be. You talked to a gentleman today. He said, I'm finishing up on 20. My hat's off to you. I don't know how you did it. It goes by fast, and maybe it is the grace of God or some type of miracle, immaculate conception. I don't know, but it happened. It went down. That's the deal, man. So that's a little bit about me, my history, the tours I've been on. I will say, off the top of my head, my favorite place in the world to travel and visit and stay for a good period of time, where the people were real warm, is Japan. I've been to the
Yeah.
most northern remote locations of Japan, a spot called Amori. That's a township in prefecture up in northern Japan, where nobody really speaks no English. There's no, you got to get Google Translate on the game, but you could feel the love, and they have a love
Yeah.
and respect for different cultures. And I had a phenomenal experience up there. And then I had it all throughout Japan, honestly. But even in the most remote locations, you could feel the love, respect, the honor, and the welcoming. I feel like you belong. And I say, like I said, my best state to live in, and it would have to be Hawaii, man. And throughout the little islands they have there, where you're talking about Maui, or whether you're
Yeah.
talking about the Big Island of Hawaii on the Hilo side. The Kona side's a little bit busier, but the Hilo side a little bit more slow pace. You can feel like
Yeah.
you went back about another 60 years, just the way the way it looks. You cobblestone roads and just real small mom and pop shops, and the beach is sitting there, and the trees, and just the whole environment looks beautiful. So, if you had your way, I would tell people that, like,